James Turner for the untouchable true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so I'm really happy to discuss one of boxing's true warriors, one of boxing's true road warriors, Carlos Canizales, and the new. He has went ahead and justice and revenge has been coldly served in Venezuela as Carlos Canizales knocks out Panya Pradabsri from Thailand to go ahead and become the new WBC Light Flyweight Champion of the world. So listen, this is amazing for the sport. It's amazing for Carlos Canizales. I really believe that Carlos Canizales is one of the best fighters in this division. You know, he came to prominence when he fought Kenshiro Taraji and gave Kenshiro Taraji hell. He gave Kenshiro all he could handle. And he was on the wrong end of a fight where, you know, a lot of people thought he won, and it was very close. If they would have gave it to him, I wouldn't have been upset about it, because really and truthfully, I think Carlos Canizales, I think Kenshiro performed the worst against Carlos Canizales than he did against Ricardo Sandoval. I think Ricardo Sandoval actually had less of a case to win than Carlos Canizales upon going back and watching, you know, both fights and whatnot. But nonetheless, let's talk about Carlos Canizales because and this fight, because this was a really interesting fight. Obviously, this was a rematch of the December fight where Panya got he got one of the biggest gift decisions. I would even go as far as to say he might have even gotten the 2024 robbery of the year in his majority decision victory over Carlos Canizales. He lost and he got outclassed in that fight, and it really wasn't a hard fight to score. But of course, in Thailand, you know, in Thailand, as we've seen in the past, a guy like McWilliams Royal many years ago went over there and fought. I am not wrong. He got robbed, so it was kind of the same thing. So Panya unjustly gets crowned the WBC Light Flyweight Champion of the world back in December. Now they do the rematch, and they did it in Venezuela. So you know, Canizales got the fight in front of his hometown support. And the irony of this fight is that Panya, I thought, performed better in the rematch than he did in the first fight, but he got knocked out in 5 rounds in the rematch because the round right before Canizales knocked out Panya dropped Canizales in the 4th round. So, you know, that's a lot more than he did in the first fight. The first fight, Carlos Canizales was in his chest, landing body shots, outworking him, pushing him back. Wasn't really a hard fight to score, and they jobbed and they robbed Carlos Canizales. This fight, he got a knockdown, and it was a bit more nip and tuck, but, you know, at the end of the day, judges weren't needed. Carlos Canizales made sure this time he took it completely out of the judges' hands, and he is now your new WBC. Canizales joins the likes of Edwin Valero, Jorge Linares, Leo Gamez, and a whole host of other fighters as Venezuelan-born world champions. So that's always cool. But as far as Canizales and what could be next for him, because, you know, I'm really happy. It's been a long time since I've been this happy for a fighter to avenge a loss, because he really didn't deserve that. You know, you could have made the argument that he beat Kenshiro Taraji a couple years ago. And honestly, if you really look at it, there's a legitimate case that Carlos Canizales could currently be the #1 light flyweight in the world. Because when you look at the division, I gotta keep it a buck. You know, I like the lower weight categories, and I know a lot of people who don't follow these weight categories say, oh well, there's not a whole lot of depth there, and you know, there's not a lot of these divisions aren't that good. But I'll be honest, the light flyweight division right now is very thin and it's wide open. You know, you look at the current champions. All the current champions have all won their world titles, I think, this year. Yeah, all of them have won a world title this year. So nobody's been a champion for longer than 6 months. You look at Rene Santiago. He is the longest tenured champion. I believe he won his title in March against Chokichi Iwata when he upset him. Thang Sak Simsiri just won it in June on the Brian Norman undercard against Christian Araneta. And then Kaosuke Takami won his belt only a few days earlier than Carlos Canizales. So no, there's not really one clear defined #1 light flyweight in the world right now. But based on resume, based on performances, I would venture to say right now, for my money, of the champions, Carlos Canizales is definitely the best light flyweight in the world. You know, he fought Kenshiro Taraji, one of the all-time great light flyweights, and many people thought that he beat Kenshiro Taraji. And this is Kenshiro Taraji, very close to his best. I mean, right before Seigo Yuriokui, like, because he fought Kenshiro right after Kenshiro fought Heki Butler. And I would say like that Heki brother fight for Kenshiro is one of the top 5 best performances of his career. And Canizales caught him right after that, and he gave him all he could handle, pushing him back, landing a sustained attack to the body. I really thought, like going back, and because I went back and I watched Canizales versus Kenshiro, and I watched Sandoval versus Kenshiro. I thought Canizales performed better against Kenshiro than Ricardo Sandoval did. He actually was active. He was actually winning exchanges, pushing him back. Sandoval boxed well, but Sandoval was landing a lot of single shots, getting outworked, and really the more effective puncher in that fight was Kenshiro. And I thought Kenshiro unjustly got robbed on the cards, but that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying Canizales performed better than Sandoval did against a guy that's the best around these weight classes and probably should have won the fight. That being said, you look at Canizales potentially against the guys like Santiago, guys like Takami, guys like Simsiri. I'm going to tell y'all like this. I would favor Canizales to beat all those guys. I think he would put Simsiri in a blender. That'd probably be the easiest fight of the bunch for him because Simsiri just comes forward, and you're not going to win that kind of fight against Canizales. At least these guys aren't. Santiago, good fighter, crafty boxer. I think he could frustrate Canizales for 4 or 5 rounds, but inevitably Canizales is going to get to him and wear him down, wear him out, and that's what it is. And then Takami is a guy that a lot of people in boxing are high on. I'm still reserving judgment on Takami. I don't know how good I think he is yet. But he's big and strong for the weight class, so he could probably have some firepower from Canizales, but he gets hit clean a lot. And I don't think he's got the kind of chin or the durability or the ability to dig as deep as Kenshiro, because Kenshiro is probably the best fighter in boxing at digging deep. When he's getting his ass kicked or having bad moments in the fight, he's able to go to a place most fighters can't go to. So that's why he's able to win these fights against a guy like Carlos Canizales. I don't think Takami has that in him to that degree. So I think Carlos Canizales would fold him. So to be honest with you, if he can get the fights, I really think there's a legitimate chance Carlos Canizales could go undisputed in this weight class. These guys are not, as in my opinion, I think he's a half a level above all these guys. The toughest fights, in my opinion, for Canizales would all come against the contenders. Like, look at maybe somebody like number 13 contender Yugo Osaki. I think Yugo Osaki would give anybody in this weight class problems. I think he's a really good fighter. Maybe a guy like, I don't know, Daya Kira or one of the it's one of those guys, or maybe it's one of these guys I don't even know about that's ranked. But it's not many guys in this division that I think could really have much for him. He's really one of them top guys. He's really a top fighter. So, you got Christian Arnetta as well, who challenged for the title. Maybe this could be his chance. Toshiki Kawamitsu, that's another guy. Elwin Soto, former champion. So there's fights for Canizales, but I don't see a lot of competition for him. And I really think if his management team can do right by him and get him the fights, you could be looking at one of the most accomplished you could be looking at the most accomplished Venezuelan boxer in the sport since Jorge Linares. And that's really like probably one of the storylines at Light Flyweight for me. But yeah, anyway, nonetheless, congratulations to Carlos Canizales, one of the best light flyweights in the world, on avenging an unjust loss against Panya Pradabsri and making sure he does it in a definitive outcome. No scorecards, no controversy, no none of that. This is a guy in Canizales, and I'm being long-winded, but I respect him so much. Canizales is one of boxing's real road warriors. This is a guy in Canizales. He's fought everywhere. He's fought in Venezuela, Japan, Argentina. He's fought in China. He's fought in Thailand. He's fought all over the world. So to me, as far as I'm concerned, this is probably one of the most legit world champions in boxing because of who he's fought and how he had to go about getting his world title. So congratulations to him. Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this, make sure you guys stay tuned and subscribe. You won't be disappointed.